Of. This is Sparta on 760 WJR. Now here are your hosts, Otis Wiley and Jehuu Caulcrick.
Oh, welcome to the pregame show of the MHSAA High School Football Playoffs. This is Sparta MSU Podcast Special Edition, which is our high school edition. I'm your co-host, Otis Wiley, along with my other co-host, Jehuu Caulcrick. Look at him, Choo. How you feeling after that turkey day, man? Are you stuffed? You hungover? What you doing?
I feel great. I feel good. You know, I went yesterday, saw my Bills, knock down the Lions. Yeah, I'm going to say it.
You're going to say it? You're going to say it?
Yeah.
With all the Lions fans?
I was in enemy territory, boy. People were throwing towels at me, throwing hats at me, but I was the classy one. I just stood up and took a bow,
Yeah, I think we gotta go to clock management with our coaches in the state of Michigan, man. Like, what happened, man? 3 timeouts, and we can't call any timeouts. Jared Goff. That's another session, another episode. But if you listened or viewed the show at the beginning of the playoff season, we had a pregame show right when we kicked off of playoff season. We highlighted the top WJR high school game against West Bloomfield and Cass Tech. And do you remember who you selected to win that game, Jehuu?
Yes, I know. I was wrong in my selection. I did pick West Bloomfield to win that game, because I had some ties to them, I don't have any personal ties, but I have some friends, that went there. So I figured, they were going to pull it off. But, it was a drumming by Cass Tech, who you picked to win.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that I picked to win. But they are not in the final dance that is happening. It's been a wild and crazy month of great high school football. Today we're at the end of the 2022 season. We have a total of 16 teams competing for a state championship. You got 8 divisions, 4 games today and 4 games tomorrow. And so, Jehuu, you probably understand this, being obviously a football player yourself. Every high school player's dream is to make it to the ship and play in an NFL stadium. You're obviously in New York and it's cold, and we're in Michigan, and you want to go play inside an in-venue stadium. But I don't think you had the opportunity for an in-venue stadium in arena, because both your stadiums are outdoors, right?
Well, in New York, we play our sectional finals at the Bills Stadium. And then the state finals are played at the Carrier Dome in Syracuse. So you play the state finals in the dome. But like you said, though, this is every high school kid's dream. When you start with youth football and you work your way up, you're playing with these guys that, you work out with, you grow up with, and then you're in that same school together with these guys. Your goal every off season, you talk about you're doing off-season work and you're like state champs on 3, 1, 2, 3 state champs. You break it down for a state championship, because this is something that no one can ever take away from you, which is a state title. And these kids have the opportunity to make those dreams come true today. We have some teams that, that are going to be playing today and this weekend that have the opportunity to repeat as state champions. So that's something special in itself right there.
Yeah. And to your point, you think it's supposed to be cold right now, right? And then we have some beautiful fall weather that technically we got snow, and now it's about 50 degrees. It's supposed to be 58 today. And, that's actually, wish we could play outside in this weather. Wish we had that last weekend. Maybe our outcome for our game against Indiana would have been a different outcome, but neither here nor there. We kind of cover off, when we kick off today with the Division 8 championship. So we're going to go down and run down the list of who's playing. So you can tune in. You can obviously stream it. Go to mhsaa.org. Look at that link. Follow it. Listen. Hear it. But if you also in person, go support your local high school football state championship players playing for the last time. So at 10 a.m. today, following this show, we have Ottawa Lake Whiteford versus Ubly. We just talked about this. How do you even pronounce that, right? Our guy Nick Roddy said it's in the thumb, right there. So you're looking right here. We always throw up the thumb. Is it which way is it? Came and got it right, but
oh boy,
oh boy. Jay, you thought it was in the UP, so clearly we're not there yet. But then following that, we got a matchup between the Division II championship with Grand Rapids Forest Hills Central versus Warren De La Salle Collegiate, and one of our late great alums, who passed away, tragically, and our punter Mike Sadler is from the Forest Hills Central squad there, so. Look for that good matchup. And then following that, 4:30, you got a Division VI matchup with Grand Rapids West Catholic versus Nagani. Let me correct myself. Too much turkey for me, but I didn't have turkey. I had beef for that yesterday. So then we close today's game with the battle between Grand Rapids South Christian versus Goodrich. I mean, if you look at today, look at all the teams coming from West Michigan, Jehuu. I mean, talk about that side of the state has some powerhouses and some football. Talk about, guys over there, man.
Yeah, absolutely. You got these teams here that are, powerful. And we talked about, De La Salle, they're looking to repeat as state champions because they won it last year. And, it's an opportunity to come. Anytime you have the opportunity to repeat, it's something super special. But one thing I will point at before we take a deep dive into these teams, if you're a coach or if you're on this coaching staff, you have to really dig deep and watch film from week 2, 3, 4 when the weather was nicer. Because when you start playing, especially in Michigan, like you hinted at, Otis, and you're playing outside, the elements start to kick in with cold weather, snow, rain. The playbook kind of shrinks a little bit because you can't do everything that you want to do. So now that they're playing inside the dome at Ford Field, the playbook opens up. So if you're a coach, you have to go all the way back to look at these teams previously when they were playing in good weather. What did they do? What trickerations did they do that, that the weather and the elements allowed them to do? But yeah, absolutely. The first game, out of
it looks like we lost the audio from Jehuu. He was breaking down Ottawa Lake Whiteford. Well, we're going to go to commercial break here. We'll be back for more after this.
Hi, friends. Bill Golling here telling you that time is running out on our Black Friday sales event at Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. For example, qualified Chrysler employees can still lease the 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4 for just $349 a month. Leases for 39 months, 10,000 miles a year with $2,000 down. Since 1966, we've been honored to serve your automotive needs, be it in sales, service, or collision. So buy local and support the hardworking people of our community. That's Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bloomfield Hills, Chelsea, Roseville, and online at golling.com.
Join Paul W. Smith as he talks to all the movers and shakers making the biggest difference in the D. It's Opportunity Detroit, presented by Rocket Mortgage, every Sunday at 1 p.m. on News Talk 760 WJR. Rising conductor Jonathan Hayward joins the Detroit Symphony Orchestra for one of Dvorak's most popular symphonies, the lively and folk song inspired by 8th Symphony. Yeolum Son performs Mendelssohn's spellbinding work for piano and orchestra on the program with a new work by Pulitzer Prize-winning Tanya Leon. Ticket at 313-576-5111 or at bso.org. December 9th through the 11th, the Detroit Symphony Orchestra performs Dvorak and Mendelssohn at Orchestra Hall.
If you own a Michigan business, it's time to meet MEDC. The Michigan Economic Development Corporation is here to help your business reach its new potential by connecting you to resources, introducing you to partners, and accessing the necessary capital to build your Michigan business. Contact us today to find customized support for your business at michiganbusiness.org/partnership.
Serving the community for more than 100 years with access to more than 50 carriers, nobody understands your insurance needs better than Legacy Partners Insurance Services. Home, auto, business, life. Health, Medicare. They handle it all. Don't get caught underinsured and stop throwing money away by paying too much. Get an insurance review from the experts. Call 586-209-4106. That's 586-209-4106. For the right insurance at the right price, it's Legacy Partners.
Attention! Did you or a loved one live at or near Marine Base Camp Lejeune in North Carolina between 1953 and 1987? If so, listen closely for this important legal announcement. From 1953 to 1987, Marines and their family members at Camp Lejeune drank water that was contaminated with hazardous toxins. The toxins found in the water at Camp Lejeune may cause health issues, especially later in life. Types of health issues associated with water at Camp Lejeune are numerous. If you or a loved one lived near Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation without going to court. Even if you were turned down in the past, a new law can allow you to file a claim today. If you or a loved one spent time near Camp Lejeune, call the Negligence Network to find out if you're eligible for financial compensation. There's no fee unless we win your case. Call 1-800-600-5536. That's 1-800-600-5536. 1-800-600-5536.
Sponsored by Malbus Media.
Get answers to your retirement planning questions by joining the president of the Brzezinski Group, Brett Brzezinski, for Inside Retirement, Sunday afternoons at 2. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
I'm Ann Thomas. Congratulations to the 2022 Women Who Lead class. Detroit area psychologist Donna Rockwell has started a new program for young girls called Already Famous. It's designed to help them deal with the pitfalls of social media.
Young women and girls have given over their sense of personal control to social media, to an algorithm.
To learn more about Donna Rockwell, go to WJR.com. Special thanks to General Motors and Lear for supporting Women Who Lead.
Welcome to a special edition of This is Sparta on 760 WJR. Now, here are your hosts, Otis Wiley and Jehuu Caulcrick.
Welcome back. We had a little technical difficulties from Jehuu and myself, so we'll get it going. We'll get the dust settled off of us. But Jehuu was talking about our matchup between, the Grand Rapids, Forest Hill Central, and Warren De La Salle Collegiate.
Yeah, that matchup there. This is a team, the Grand Rapids Forest Central football team, that's coming into this game 13-0. They have not lost this season, and they've been, offensively, they're putting up points. They've scored 379 points, this season, and only allowed, 112 points. So if your offense is putting up points and your defense is stopping people, that is the reason why you're 13-0 going into this game. But De La Salle, they had a tough schedule this year. They only lost one game coming into this in the state playoff, in the state final game, 12-1. And you want to talk about an offensive juggernaut. It's Coach Rowan and his offense. They're putting up 562 points on the season and only allowing 163 points defensively. So this is going to be a great battle here. Who's going to be able to stop, the high power offense of each team here?
Yeah, and then you talk about, Warren De La Salle also gave, Muskegon Big Reds a loss, and so, from a standpoint of, we have some powerhouses and some teams that have found a way to truly dominate in their season, but also in their division. So, looking forward to it. We talk about ending today's game with the Division IV championship. That we mentioned was Grand Rapids South Christian versus Goodrich, and you would think these Grand Rapids school would just combine forces and dominate, and play a national schedule, right? But that's neither here nor there. But Goodrich, Goodrich coming from Flint, Kerman, Ainsworth, that area, Goodrich has always had, squads and teams that were just gritty and dirty, not dirty, but more so just tough. You knew what you're going to get when you played a team out of Goodrich. We have a great, outstanding alum in Kyler Ellsworth, who played football at Goodrich and who is a Rose Bowl champion. If you recall him stopping the 4th and 1 alongside another defense committee with Darian Harris, but he will forever be one of the greats inked into Spartan history. So maybe we'll see a little appearance from Kyle Ellsworth going to Ford Field to watch his Goodrich, team play. But let's turn the page to Saturday, because Saturday is a lineup that if you don't know kind of how high school sports, when you do the state championship lineup, you typically have the teams played later in the day time wise if you have teams coming from far. So Muskegon comes from the west side of Michigan. You got to put them at the top. We talk about prime time and 7:30 time frame, right? But then you kind of go with the earlier teams and the 10 a.m.s, and those are the teams that are considered local, but within a 50-mile radius of Detroit and Ford Field. So, want to do a quick highlight of what we see on Saturday. So you go watch some football, great football today, but Saturday we have some great matchups. So starting with the Division 7 championship at 10 a.m., we got Traverse City St. Francis versus Jackson Lumen Christi. And then at 1 p.m., we got the Division 1 championship. And I consider this to be the number 2 matchup to watch out of the entire series of our state championships.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Jehuu.
Yeah, you got those two games there. I think the 1 o'clock game and the 7:30 game that you're going to hit on. Those are the two, heavy hitters. If you're a football fan, those are the 2 games that, you make sure you get everything done during the day. You watch that game at 1 o'clock. You watch the Spartans play at 4 on Saturday, and then at 7:30 your nightcap is that last state title game there. I'm telling you, those are going to be heavy hitting games. Belleville and Caledonia. It's absolutely, it's going to be a game that you're going to see a lot of these guys that are playing in this game. You're going to see them playing on Saturdays.
Absolutely. And if correct me if I'm wrong, but Belleville and Caledonia, they took out some top powerhouses and some Cass Techs of the world, and I guess some other guys too. So there's some studs on both sides of the ball there for Belleville and Caledonia. Following up at 4:30, you got the Division 5 championship in Frankenmuth versus Gladwin, and then the game that we are going to be highlighting and breaking down. It's I don't think it's a mystery that this Division 3 championship is going to be one of the best championships that we've seen in a while with the Muskegon Big Reds and Detroit Martin Luther King Crusaders. So one thing about this game is that you got a 5-star quarterback who has been highly decorated and talked about since he stepped foot on that campus, and now he's ending his storied career in a state championship final. Dante Moore. And, we can talk about a little bit before we do a break soon in 5 minutes. We can talk about Dante Moore and kind of all the buzz that he has created, or maybe we'll say the Spartans have created in working to try to flip his commitment to Oregon. And go ahead, Jehuu. Let's break it down, man, on, Dante Moore, who is the guy that in order to win this game, you got to stop this guy. And it's all facets of the game.
Yeah, exactly. He's a guy that he's a dual threat quarterback. He can beat you with his arm. He can beat you with his legs, as well as he can beat you with his brain, with the ability to go up there and make changes on the line to put his players in the best position to be successful. So he has all those things working for him. And if you're Muskegon, you have to find a way to you're not going to be able to stop him overall. You have to limit him, and you have to take away something from him. You're going to either beat us with your arm or you're going to beat us with your legs. You're not going to be able to do both. If that's putting a spy in the box that spies him and say, hey, don't let him outside the pocket, don't let him out of the box, and don't let him downfield. You can do that. Or if that's putting extra extra secondary out there to prevent him throwing the ball and saying, hey, you can run, but our defense is going to corral to the football and get you down. So this is a very talented kid, 5-star kid, like you alluded to, committed right now to Oregon. But, there's a lot of, talk about, possibly being flipped back to stay home at Michigan State. So this is going to be a very interesting game to watch. They come in, the Crusaders come in 9-3, because they played a tough schedule this year, putting up 472 points this season. Their defense, has let up some points, letting up almost 200 points as a defense this season. And Muskegon, they're coming in 11-2, and they also offensively put up some points, 483 points, but their defense have let up a lot more points in that 259 points range there. So that's something to keep an eye on. That Muskegon defense, how are they going to adjust to the quarterback of MLK?
Yeah, so you talked about the records here. So 9-3 for Detroit King coming in the season. Now, their 3 losses came from Warren Central, who is one of the top programs out of Indiana. When I coached there in Indiana the past 2 years, Warren Central was always putting out athletes after athletes, the Division I powerhouses. Then they played Cass Tech twice, lost to them or beat them in season, but lost to them in the PSL Blue Championship, and then lost to one of the storied programs in Ohio, which is Cincinnati Moeller. And we already know that program has always been a storied program and powerhouse. Now in that East Regional Division, Mason looked to be Mason local here out of suburbs of East Lansing. I'll say suburbs, but the country of East Lansing looked to be one of the favorites to win it all this year. But when they met Detroit King last week, it ended up in a 52-17 loss. So to your point, this shows the power of Dante Moore and his offensive prowess. Now let's look at real quick on Muskegon. We talked about, I've known a couple of guys that, came out of my class in 2005, was on the dream team with, that came out of Muskegon. You had a receiver, you had a defensive tackle, went to Michigan. But, they legit, like I told you about, lost to Warren De La Salle Collegiate, so who's also in the state championship finals. That score was 16-49. So we talk about the defense and Muskegon. Right. Showing that, okay, they had some troubles with, a powerful offensive attack. Second loss was a nail biter between Zeeland West, 36-38 in the regular season, and faced them in the playoffs, and then won 27-20. Then that last game before the state championship, they beat DeWitt and convincingly won 49-21. So we will break down some of the players to watch in this game after the break. And then we'll go ahead and turn the page and let's talk about our Penn State, Michigan State land grant trophy rival after this.
Smith & Wesson is committed to empowering Americans no matter what. With inflation hitting everywhere, we've decided to make a change. Now, you can buy a Smith & Wesson Shield Plus, our most popular concealed carry firearm, at an all-new low price, $100 off MSRP. We're absorbing the costs and passing along the savings to you so you don't have to compromise on personal security. Visit smithandwesson.com to find a Shield Plus near you. Smith & Wesson, always expect the best.
At Simply Safe Home Security, your safety is the only thing that matters. That's why you get live 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day, because every home deserves to be protected. Right now, get 40% off the whole home security system named the best of 2022 by U.S. News & World Report. Visit simplysafe.com/holiday to save big today. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Inflation is affecting everyone right now. But if you're in the construction industry, you're really feeling it, with increased costs and limited availability of, well, just about everything. That may include your business insurance. Highland can help. They're one of the largest independently owned insurance brokerages in the U.S., with offices here in Metro Detroit and Southeast Michigan. Their trusted construction insurance and surety experts do the heavy lifting for you, so you can focus on running your business. They offer contractors everything from property and casualty insurance to employee benefits to specialty services like surety and captives. And their dedicated claim management team is focused on making your life easier by being your advocate if a claim arises. I know the Highland family, they pride themselves on their expertise and service just like you do. So if you're in the construction industry and have insurance questions, give Highland a call. That's Hylant, Highland. See how you can build a stronger business together. Tell them Paul W. sent you.
Your love isn't confined to an advent calendar. It doesn't just stop when the Christmas lights come down. With the Salvation Army, your love lasts all year long. It puts a present under someone's tree today and a roof over someone's head tomorrow. It brightens Christmas morning and the hardest nights for hardworking families. Together, we love beyond Christmas. Give $25 a month to Salvation Army to support families all year long at sametrodetroit.org.
Steve Courtney here with my good friends at Livonia-based Bill Brown Ford. Oh, Nelly! Pigskin is back in the great state of Michigan as our professional, college, and high school football teams get back to business. Bill Brown Ford, America's #1 Ford dealer, has the hardest working team in the Motor City. Visit BillBrownFord.com today to place your 2023 order. Bill Brown, serving the needs of Michiganders for well over 100 years.
#1 Ford dealer is based on Ford's new Total Retailer Report for 2021.
Smith & Wesson is committed to empowering Americans no matter what. With inflation hitting everywhere, we've decided to make a change. Now, you can buy a Smith & Wesson Shield Plus, our most popular concealed carry firearm, at an all-new low price, $100 off MSRP. We're absorbing the costs and passing along the savings to you so you don't have to compromise on personal security. Visit smithandwesson.com to find a Shield Plus near you. Smith & Wesson, always expect the best.
At Simply Safe Home Security, your safety is the only thing that matters. That's why you get live 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day, because every home deserves to be protected. Right now, get 40% off the whole home security system named the best of 2022 by U.S. News & World Report. Visit simplysafe.com/holiday to save big today. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com. Do you need new blinds or shades? Blindster offers custom-made blinds, shades, and shutters shipped to you at prices less than big box retailers. And right now, save 45% off any order during Blindster's Black Friday sale. Hurry, sale ends November 27th. Blindster.com.
Heading out on the area roadways, we're seeing moderate volumes of traffic and, of course, some heavier pockets as well around shopping centers, including Oakland Mall, I-75, and the 14-mile area. We are seeing some pretty good volumes of traffic here. Also, M39 at Michigan Avenue, Fairlane Town Center traffic picking up a bit. But good news is no accidents or other complications to slow you down. I'm Rick Schremp, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Breezy and cooler out here today. Clouds break up, give way to sunshine for this afternoon. Upper 40s, 31 tonight. Mix of clouds and sun. Middle to upper 50s Saturday. Rain Saturday night and Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ken Boone on Newstalk 760 WJR.
Welcome to a special edition of This is Sparta on 760 WJR. Now here are your hosts, Otis Wiley and Jehuu Caulcrick.
We're back. We're back in action. Continuing on discussing the top matchup of the state championship finals, Michigan State. I say Michigan, the state of Michigan, not Michigan State. No, we're going to highlight the players to watch in this game, between the Muskegon Big Reds and the Detroit Martin Luther King. And then we're going to talk about Dante Moore, obviously, Oregon commit. We already kind of touched that. We have Sterling Anderson, ranked 6th, running back in Michigan, the state of Michigan. And then we have one of our own Michigan State commits in Jonathan Slack or Jonathan. Either or. I don't know fully yet, but I just don't want to mispronounce his name. But he is an offensive lineman, MSU commit. And you got Kenneth Merriweather, who's a defensive end, Iowa commit. Then you got Jamil Croft Jr., who is a defensive back receiver, who is a Kansas commit. Talk about some guys that are high impact playmakers on that squad.
Yeah, absolutely. That team is made up of a bunch of guys that that, like you just said, are going to play at the next level. And you just said those guys that are playing at the Power 5 level. There's going to be some other guys there that play at the next level next year and the years to come. But I'm impressed by Sterling Anderson, the running back. Obviously, I'm going to say the running back.
Of course you are. Of course you are.
With all the attention that goes to Moore, this kid, he's averaging about 70, 80 yards a game on the ground. And that's huge, because he can take some of that stress and that pressure off the quarterback in the pass game, because the defense now, you have to play for both. So that's something I'm really into and really excited about. And one thing, you mentioned all these players that are going to be playing different places. Let's give the coaches some credit from the way that they schedule the season. They're putting, you mentioned the teams that played in Indiana and Ohio, different. They put together some battle tested games. It's almost kind of like a Tom Izzo preseason schedule, so that they're ready for this time of the year. They're ready for in-season state playoff run, and obviously they've made that run, and now they're at the final end of that run where the finish line's in sight to possibly cap off your season with a state title. So kudos to the coaches for the scheduling. And Croft Jr., the DB, give a little something on that, Otis.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm kind of questioning on why he is not a green and white commit, but Kansas was rolling earlier in the season in the Story program, and then obviously their basketball program. It's kind of the similar-esque to Michigan State University and Kansas, but you look at the DB receivers on this squad on Detroit King. They got their hands full when it comes to the guy across the other way on the offensive side. On how do you stop a true, I guess, more dominant runner than passing quarterback in Mekhi Guy. No, he is a guy who last week rushed for 6 touchdowns. And if you recall last week, what was it doing from the elements of weather last week on both sides? Like, both teams had to play in the snow, and they had this nice prize picture of him rushing against DeWitt, and it was just a guy. And I put him in a similar comparison to a Kyler Murray, because once he takes off, people kind of stand up and gasp of, like, what is he going to do? Here's a little crazy stat, from on the Muskegon side, is that they have less than 9 games win season since 2011. So they are obviously confident going into every season, and they're battle tested and have played true and true since 2011. Now they're young, but they're fierce, and you're going to see guys that clearly have been overshadowed with all the news of Dante Moore and the Detroit Martin Luther King team and the outstanding players that they have that are going to play at the next level. And Muskegon's just saying that they've been overlooked, they've been felt disrespected, and you're going to see these guys give it their all. And I'm excited to see and watch this team play on Saturday.
Yeah, you're 100% right. And this quarterback, he's not a big guy.
No.
You're 100% right when you make that Kyler Murray comparison there. So, if you're the Crusaders on the defensive side, your coaches must be telling you, contain the quarterback, make sure you have an eye on him at all time. But just because he ran for 6 touchdowns doesn't mean that they're not going to say, okay, you're stacking the box. We'll run some zone options, some zone reads, some RPOs, and put the ball in our other playmakers' hands. So that's going to be an interesting battle back and forth to see. But this kid is very elusive. He's very, very explosive. He has that tendency every time he touches the ball, which is often because he's a quarterback. He has the potential to score or put points on the board.
Absolutely. Well, we want to put a bow on our.
Well, we're not gonna pick our winners.
Oh, you want to?
You
want some redemption? Okay,
let's go through the list.
Let's go through the list. Before our next break here. So we got starting off with Ottawa Lake Whiteford. and versus Ubly. What is that? What's your score prediction on that one?
Oh, Ubly with their travel schedule, the way that they have to go all over the state. I'm gonna go with Ubly in a tight game, 34-28.
Oh, you heard it here, 34-28. All right, let's go to the 1 p.m. matchup, Division II championship, which we talked about. This is a big game, and actually, you kind of say this could be fighting for the number 2 matchup of both days for top games to watch. But I think this is the best game to watch, obviously, today. Grand Rapids Forest Hill Central versus Warren De La Salle Collegiate. What is your prediction, knowing who they're playing, and Warren De La Salle is trying to do a repeat? What's your prediction?
It is tough. It is tough to repeat in anything, especially in the game of football, a state championship. But I think De La Salle's offense is too powerful. They played a tough schedule this season, and they're ready for this. I say De La Salle runs away with this game, 42-17.
Ooh. Defense, Grand Rapids Forest Hill Central. If you're listening, you got to get that defense right and tight. All righty, 4:30 p.m. matchup for the Division VI championship. You got Grand Rapids West Catholic versus Nagani.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to go with Grand Rapids West. Their school that they're going to be able to come up with offense, but also their stingy defense will be in there. So I'm going to go Grand Rapids West in a close one. Let's go 24-21.
24-21.
Yes, it's going to be a little nail-biter. They're going to be on the edge of the seat. They're going to pay for the whole seat, but only use the edge.
Oh, man. Now, I consider a real gritty one. It's the Division IV championship battle between Grand Rapids South Christian versus Goodrich. And, I haven't selected one, but, I got to go from the close to one of the home teams in that region where we're from on the Flint connection. Got to go with Goodrich, going with 28-21.
Perfect. I'm with Goodrich as well. I'm taking
okay.
Goodrich as well. Yep.
All righty. Well, we'll come back for more after this, and we'll select our scores predictions for Saturday's matchup.
Do your home's cabinets look tired? Hire your local cabinet painters at McFarland Painting. Painting your kitchen cabinets is arguably one of the most cost-effective ways to improve your kitchen. Don't replace, repaint. Book a free estimate today at McFarlandPainting.com. That's McFarlandPainting.com.
Would you like to learn the truth about retirement planning? Hi, I'm Kirk Cassidy, financial instructor for the Retirement Education Foundation and the co-host of Inside Retirement. If you're retiring within the next 10 years or already retired, join us for our 2-day retirement planning course to learn how to design and implement your own customized roadmap for retirement. To find a course in your area, go to retirementplanningedu.com. $29 tuition goes to charity. retirementplanningedu.com.
Gary Morowski, President, Flame, Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical, reaching out with a Christmas gift you can't pass up. Install a new high-efficiency heating and cooling system before November 30th. At no charge, Flame will supply and install a new 40-gallon water heater. Flame secures permits on all work performed. Flame has over 100 trucks to serve you 24/7, 365. One other thing, $2,500 in rebates on top of a free water heater. Flame also takes care of any plumbing, drain staking, or electrical needs. Backup generators are our specialty. Flame is our name, service is our game. I guarantee it.
Yellowstone, television's #1 show, is back on Paramount Network.
I, John Dudley, do solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the state of Montana against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Featuring an all-star cast led by Academy Award winner Kevin Costner.
The invasion is over.
They will fight you dirty.
Is there any other way?
As the Dutton family fights to protect their legacy, they'll learn power has a price.
Signing this is a declaration of war.
We're already at war.
Yellowstone. New episodes Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on Paramount Network.
When you can't stop, there's Vicks VapoRub.
Vicks VapoRub sends powerful medicated Vicks vapors right to the source of your so you can experience cough relief and breathe easier. Generations of families have trusted Vicks VapoRub to help relieve the worst cold symptoms. So next time you have a cough, reach for the Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub. Cough relieving is believing.
Original Murdoch's Fudge is delivering fudge to your door now direct from the Straits of Mackinac. It's time to say happy holidays to your clients, friends, and family with a holiday treat. Give the sweetest made-in-Michigan treat, Original Murdoch's Fudge. Place your order now for sweet savings. Order now online. OriginalMurdochsFudge.com. That's OriginalMurdochsFudge.com.
Paid for by Bar Justice. Attention. Have you or a loved one been diagnosed with cancer after using Zantac or other heartburn medications for several months? The FDA has warned that Zantac and other medications containing heartburn drug ranitidine may be contaminated with cancer-causing agent NDMA. Zantac may be linked to these cancers: bladder, colorectal, esophageal, intestinal, kidney, liver, ovarian, pancreatic, stomach, testicular, and uterine. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with cancer after using Zantac or other heartburn medications for several months, call now. 800-516-9931. Never stop taking medication without first consulting a physician. Call right now for a free consultation. You may be owed significant compensation. Call 800-516-9931. 800-516-9931. That's 800-516-9931. 800-516-9931.
On the next America's Wealth Management show, is this just another dead cat bounce like we saw on March 17th or June 17th? Or is the cat alive and the bull market fully underway? Find out Sunday night at 5 on WJR.
Welcome to a special edition of This is Sparta on 760 WJR. Now, here are your hosts, Otis Wiley and Jehuu Caulcrick.
Oh, coming back in with some blues. I was going to be like, Merry Christmas, baby. Oh, I know today is the tradition, obviously, to put up your Christmas trees after Thanksgiving holiday.
Yes,
I plan
sir.
on going to get my very first fresh tree, not one of those, fake ones that I used to do back in, the 30 plus years of my life. I'm going to get a fresh tree, a real one.
Are you going to cut it yourself? You're going to go take the family out, pull the wagon?
Yeah, no. We're going to go to one of the trailer park. No, it's like right here by my little golf spot there. They got or the Meyer in the parking lot off of Grand River. They already got them cut. And so I'm going to go ahead and grab one probably the day after I get done with this. So quickly.
Yeah, if you don't see me tomorrow, the wife's got me on the ladder today hanging lights and everything. So,
oh man, don't be one of those. I'm falling and I can't get up.
Absolutely.
Well, we're gonna go rapid fire on a selection, and then we're gonna talk about Michigan State's preview against the Nittany Lions on tomorrow at 4 p.m. So rapid fire, Division 7 championship on Saturday, 10 a.m. We got Traverse City, St. Francis versus Jackson, Newman Christie. What's your prediction?
Traverse City, Carrier Capital. Got to go with them. They win the game. Strong run game is going to get after it. 34-23.
All right, man. You giving to some kickers some love here. Okay. 1 p.m. Division 1 championship. You got the Belleville versus Caledonia. And that's number 2 matchup that we just selected, but could garner be number 1 depending on how this outcome goes. What's your prediction?
Belleville, there's a lot of distractions in that program right now. But I think they're going to overcome those distractions and find a way to win this game. Their offense is prolific, over 600 points, so far this season. I'm going with Belleville in a high-scoring affair on their end, 41-34.
Got it. Division 5 championship, 4:30. Frankenmuth versus Gladwin. Now, if you've ever been to Frankenmuth, you got the Christmas store there. They make some good fried. Yep, Bronner's. You got some good fried chicken that they make out there
Xander's?
too. Yes, my man. So with chicken competition alone, they're winning this game. But what is the prediction for this one?
And up in Frankenmuth, you got to give a shout out to our boy Zach McCullen, former, Zach and Max Chocolate.
Send us some chocolates. Send us some chocolates, my guy, if you're listening.
Frankenmuth, their defense is stout. They only allowed 64 points all season long defensively. I think they're gonna hold Gladwin down. Frankenmuth wins it. Too much going on there. Frankenmuth wins, and it's going to be a tight one. Not a tight one. They're going to win 34-10.
Got it. All right. Matchup number 1. We just selected Muskegon Big Reds versus Detroit Martin Luther King Crusaders. What is the prediction? I'll select first really quick. I think that it is going to be a 42-38 game. Don't ask me how I got to that one, but I just feel like we are going to see high-powered offense. Defense is going to, whoever gets that last stop, last drive, wins the game.
But who are you picking?
I'm picking Detroit Martin Luther King, the Crusaders, my man.
As Lee Corso would say, not so fast, my friend. There is so much attention.
Give me that. Yeah, give me that mascot head. Give me that mascot. Where's it at? Yeah.
There's so much attention that's put on, Detroit King school with all their high-profile players, their quarterback, 5-star quarterback. I'm telling you, Muskegon's going to come in with a chip on their shoulder. They're going to say, we have guys that can play at the next level too. We shine the light on us. We don't get the attention we deserve. In a score, it's going to be a high-scoring game, like you said. I say it's going to be 45-42 King.
Wow. Wow, I thought you was going to pick an upset when you start talking. Well, I know we only saved a little bit of time for our Michigan State Spartans going to State College, Happy Valley, for the Land Grant Trophy. We only saved a few minutes, but we love talking high school sports, and so kudos to all the student athletes for this season who played their hearts out and proud, with pride with their schools, and next year off season used it as a tool to get better and get back to this next phase of next season, 2023. But we'll put a bow on that MHSAA playoff, season highlight, but also for the state championship matchups we got here. Jehuu, you and I both have played in this luxurious, great, I'll say pound for pound, nitty gritty rivalry game against Penn State. Talk to us about this rivalry, talk about this trophy, and what do you think the Spartans have got to do to get a one game on the win belt to get bowl eligible?
Yeah, this game is, it's a special game. It's a special game for me because growing up in Buffalo, New York area there, you see a lot of Penn State games on TV. You got a lot of fans that are Penn State fans. And also, it's Big Ten countries, so to speak. But this game is special because that Land Grant Trophy, I remember I was a freshman and I was redshirted, but I got to dress for this Penn State game, and Michigan State won the game, and that trophy sitting there, everyone's running, grabbing the trophy, picking it. I just, for some reason in my head, I thought, I'm going to go pick that trophy over carrying you. Maybe my picture will be snapped in the Lansing State Journal or something. The trophy sitting on the field. I run up there, try to. It's heavy. That's not a one-man job. I could not pick that trophy. So, decided to go somewhere else, with it. But, this game always comes down to, it's always a pivotal game for Michigan State and also for Penn State too. They're playing for bowl position and to see where, to better themselves to get to a better bowl game. Michigan State is playing to become bowl eligible. And I remember my senior year, your junior year, we played Penn State at home. And, that was first. We were already bowl eligible. We were at that 6-6 point. That was Coach D's first year. And this was decide, do you play a game, in Florida.
At this point, was it Little Caesars? Was it Little Caesars?
Yeah, it was a Little Caesars.
You
play in Florida, or are you going, 80 miles down the road to Ford Field to play at Little Caesars. Nothing wrong with that bowl, but you're in Michigan, you want to go somewhere warm, you want to let loose a little bit. And so that was that pivotal moment for that game. And that game was up and down, being senior day. It was emotional. I know we called a fake punt. It wasn't, we ended up working it, made it work, going down, scoring the touchdown to end up winning the game. and then we put the defense back on the field to close it out for us.
I dropped the interception, man, but but we closed it out. Turnover downs, but I dropped it.
So there's a funny story behind that, Otis. So Javon and I, we were gonna say, because we play rock paper scissors to see who would start the game, and we were running it was an exotic play to start the game off of some type of slip screen, and so Javon was going to be the guy to run it, but it was senior day, and he won in rock paper scissors. I was like, good, boom, you take it, bro. And he's like, no, it's senior day. I want JU to start. And then so I was like, no, the play is specific for you. And then Coach Enos, our running backs coach, he was like, we'll be fine. Javon, you take it. Let's score. Let's get out there. And, we can get JU off in the right way with the sub. So when you drop that interception, that was my opportunity to, get my swan song and go wave to the crowd, go and kiss this party.
Comes in tenfold. Hey, full circle. I appreciate that. Assist, although I wanted that stat, but it's all good.
I wanted you to get that stat.
Right. Little known fact, and I feel like I'm getting my Steve Courtney on with his voice and enunciating. George Perlis, he created this trophy, designed it. And which is crazy that you have a coach who was a mastermind, but also kind of saw that this was a great rivalry because of the land grant institutions that we are. We are the two oldest land grant institutions in the nation, is Michigan State, Penn State. So when Penn State joined the Big Ten Conference in 1993, it was an immediate rivalry that was established because of the university ties. So we always play the last game of the season. It's either a blizzard or it's cold and raining. I've never played Penn State where the sun was out shining and it was hot. So I look forward to seeing these guys really play their hearts out, play their last home game or last game of the season, and get a win under their belt so we can go bowl eligible and go bowling. So thank you, JU, for joining. Appreciate you, man. I know it's after the day after Turkey Day, but we are excited that we are able to break down the high school playoff, state championship matchups, and show you a preview of the Michigan State Nittany Lions briefly. So, as always, thank you for joining and listening in. Go green and go white.
Go white.